Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're diving headfirst into the 2026 WNBA All-Star Game. You know, it's a weekend that's meant for pure celebration, but it instantly transformed into this massive, relentless internet debate. Let's unpack the popularity, the performance, and this whole new era of women's basketball.
Was Caitlin Clark robbed? I mean, that single question just absolutely blew up on social media the literal second the final whistle blew on the All-Star Game. People weren't just talking about the highlights. They were fiercely debating whether the player who helps turn this event into one of the most talked about basketball weekends of the year was somehow unfairly left watching someone else take home the MVP trophy.
Now, to really get why this story exploded the way it did, you kind of have to grasp the sheer undeniable gravity of Caitlin Clark entering the weekend. Over 1 million. That is how many fan votes Caitlin Clark pulled in just to become an all-star starter. To put that into perspective, it's a staggering figure that proves just how much attention she continues to command. Every game she plays isn't just a game anymore. It's a full-blown cultural event.
But here's the thing. Clark wasn't alone in this massive stratosphere of hype. The spotlight was actually incredibly crowded. You had Paige Bueckers, who actually locked down the spot as the overall leading fan vote getter, earning her place as a starter. And right there with them was Angel Reese, remaining one of the most highly popular players in the league and securing her well-deserved place as a reserve. That alone tells you everything you need to know about this explosive new era of the WNBA.
And that brings us to the real core tension of the whole weekend. On one side, you've got the official MVP of the game, Jonquel Jones. But then, on the other side, you have the biggest story and undeniable media draw, Caitlin Clark. So naturally, when the buzzer sounded, fans looked at Clark's massive presence and started asking if she had done enough to deserve that MVP consideration.
Okay, so the crucial point we need to make here is this. The official answer to that MVP question? It was a firm no. Jonquel Jones completely, 100% earned the All-Star Game MVP award. She led Team Spoon to a 129-122 victory over Team Coop. Jones delivered the exact type of outstanding performance that makes someone a deeply deserving winner. Taking absolutely nothing away from her incredible accomplishment, we have to recognize that this MVP award was never officially Caitlin Clark's to lose.
But, of course, that didn't stop the internet debate, right? Because just look at what Caitlin Clark was actually doing out on the floor. She reportedly knocked down 5 three-pointers during the event, reminding everyone why she is absolutely one of the most dangerous offensive players alive. And well beyond the stats, there's just a different level of attention surrounding her. The cameras constantly follow her, the fans react to her every single move. Even when she isn't the official MVP, her mere presence keeps her at the absolute center of attention.
Which brings us right back to that incredibly loaded word, robbed. Let's actually define what we're talking about here. In the wild world of sports media and internet fandom, claiming someone got robbed doesn't necessarily mean the official decision was technically wrong. It really means fans believe a player deserved more attention, more recognition, or just a bigger share of the spotlight. It's all about perception and narrative rather than just reading the official box score.
You see, the spotlight is so fiercely contested right now because we are literally watching a true big three of a brand new generation emerge. And it's fascinating to see how distinct they all are. You've got Caitlin Clark, the explosive playmaker from Iowa. Then there's Angel Reese, the dominant physical rebounder who built this massive following in college. And Paige Bueckers, the smooth, polished scorer who arrived with enormous expectations. They represent completely different paths, different styles, and entirely different identities as the new faces of modern women's basketball. And because fans are just constantly comparing these three, every single glance, every tiny gesture is put under a microscope, which leads to wild internet rumors like this viral claim that Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers were intentionally disrespecting Caitlin Clark. I mean, this narrative caught absolute fire online, with people analyzing every facial expression and interaction between these stars during the All-Star weekend like they were FBI profilers trying to crack a case.
All right, let's do a quick reality check here on this supposed feud. The truth of the matter? There is absolutely zero clear evidence that either Reese or Bueckers intentionally disrespected Clark. Actually, scratch that. This whole narrative was entirely driven by fan interpretations. What we're seeing is completely normal professional interactions between athletes being transformed into toxic feuds. The internet doesn't even need an actual rivalry to exist. Social media is incredibly efficient at creating one totally out of thin air.
So this really brings us to a harsh, kind of difficult truth about professional sports.
Popularity versus performance. Listen, Caitlin Clark was undeniably one of the absolute biggest attractions at the event. But being the biggest attraction, having the fan attention and the media focus, that does not automatically translate into winning the MVP award, which is based on official stats and on-court performance. They can overlap, sure, but they are absolutely not the same thing.
All of this relentless scrutiny leads us to a much bigger question. I mean, is Caitlin Clark being judged by a completely different standard than anyone else in the league? Because sometimes it really feels like no matter what she does, the goalposts just instantly shift.
It's like a giant puzzle, and this is the cycle of superstar expectations in action. Think of it like this. Step 1, the player goes out and delivers a huge performance. Step 2, the fans and the media immediately raise expectations to totally impossible heights. And then step 3, critics focus strictly on what wasn't accomplished. If Clark scores 20 points, fans are asking why it wasn't 30. If she hits 5 threes, they ask why she didn't win MVP. It is almost mathematically impossible to satisfy everyone.
But hey, let's zoom out for a second. If you're the WNBA right now, this is what we'd call a very, very good problem to have. Because instead of relying on just one single superstar to carry the whole weight of the league, the WNBA now has multiple young superstars dominating the conversation at the exact same time. Having Clark, Reese, and Bueckers all competing for championships, MVP awards, and the spotlight, it makes the league structurally stronger than it has ever been.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to turn it over to you. Was Caitlin Clark genuinely overlooked, or did Jonquel Jones completely 100% deserve that MVP? And as this new era unfolds, are we watching a real fierce rivalry between Clark, Reese, and Bueckers, or is social media just stirring the pot and manufacturing drama? It's a fascinating debate for sure, and the best part is, this generation is literally just getting started. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.